Kellogg here. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're not a subscriber, please take a second to hit that subscribe button and that bell notification, and you'll always know when I'm on YouTube talking about fishing. Now, in my last video, I announced that we are going to see lightning trout at Collins Lake for the first time ever this year. I'm super excited about it. I've never caught a lightning trout. I haven't had many opportunities to catch lightning trout. I tried for them a couple times over at Lake Amador, and is typically the case at Lake Amador, I absolutely got my butt handed to me and I didn't catch any lightning trout or anything else for that matter. But I did see one. Actually, Wes and I, we were kayaking together. We were going back to the boat launch and one swam right between our kayaks. And when you see one in the water, there is no mistaking a lightning trout. They are just absolutely golden, yellow, red accents, and absolutely beautiful fish. So I want to talk about lightning trout. I want to talk about how to catch lightning trout. We had some input as to whether or not lightning trout would be planted at Collins Lake, and we said absolutely, put those fish in the lake. A lot of our clients, when we're out guiding, ask about lightning trout. We're interested in lightning trout, so please put them in. The management at Collins decided to put lightning trout in the lake, so let's talk about what is a lightning trout, and then we'll talk about how to catch them. Wes and I, we've been communicating with some guys out on the East Coast that catch them routinely up to about 10 pounds, and they've given us some very good input. So here we go. What is a lightning trout? Well, you're not going to find lightning trout out in nature. They first showed up in 1954 on the East Coast. They are a genetic mutation, and you see mutations occasionally at fish hatcheries. In the past, we've seen very neon green rainbow trout. Those are mutations. We've seen very blue rainbow trout. Those are mutations, and they do plant those at some locations in different states. I don't think they plant them in California, but I have seen pictures of them. And you know, they have lightning trout. They were originally called golden rainbows. A lot of people think that they are an albino rainbow, but that's not the case. It's a genetic mutation that people that run hatcheries have been able to identify and breed for that mutation. Now, theoretically, some of those fish would be capable of spawning, but they have never been observed or documented to have spawned in nature. And I believe the ones that are planted in California are sterilized anyway, so they're not going to reproduce regardless. They are very much affected by predators because they're so visible. They're not, you know, they don't have that camouflage that a regular rainbow has. So, you know, ospreys, eagles, just about anything that visually feeds on fish is going to be able to quickly identify a lightning trout, and for that reason, mortality on lightning trout is higher than it would be on an ordinary planter. From what I understand, they grow very quickly. They put up a very strong fight, and they are excellent eating. They provide great table fare. Typically, they have meat that ranges anywhere from pink to bright red, and everyone I've talked to that has eaten a lightning trout says they are top-notch table fare. So the lightning trout that are going to be stocked at Collins Lake are going to be trophy-sized fish. Theoretically, you could have, you know, lightning trout of any size. They start out small just like any other trout. But typically when lakes stock lightning trout, they're stocking trophy-sized fish, and that's going to be the case at Collins Lake. So, you know, I catch a lot of big fish at Collins Lake. I put my clients on a lot of big fish at Collins Lake. I can't remember how many rainbows last year. My clients caught over 8 pounds, so I'm really excited to get a shot at some of those big, beautiful lightning trout. I think they're going to range anywhere from 8 to 10 pounds. Don't quote me on that, but I know they are going to be trophy-sized fish. Back east, a huge lightning trout goes about 11 pounds. 6-pounders are common, so that's kind of the size range. It's interesting to note that while the fish tend to grow quickly and they tend to be biters, they tend to you know, be fairly, you know, reasonably easy to catch, they tend to prefer smaller offerings. That's what the guys back east are telling me, and that's what guys that I know here in California that have targeted lightning trout at Lake Comanche and Lake Amador have found too. Bait anglers love to use power eggs and power egg size balls of power bait, and they tend to go for either the really bright stuff, the pinks, oranges, chartreuse, or they go for white. So that's kind of your color range. The lighter stuff, the bright colored stuff. In terms of trolling lures, what I'm hearing is they like bright colors and they like relatively slim, compact offerings. So just, looking forward, what I'm going to start out pulling for lightning trout, I'm going to start off pulling our Trout Trix trout worms. Very bright in color, very slim in profile, great action, and I think that's going to appeal to the lightning trout in terms of size. So that's going to be one offering I'm pulling. Of course, I'm going to team these with action discs. I'm going to troll them anywhere from 1.5 to 2 miles an hour, and we're going to see how that works. Guys are telling me that lightning trout really like compact size, bright colored spoons. For that reason, I'm going to be pulling my tried and true orange Trigger Spoon Junior. I'll be pulling that at about 1.8 miles an hour. And I actually had a guy reach out to me from the East Coast that has been doing very well on lightnings, pulling our classic colored Trigger Spoon Juniors. This is a chartreuse and orange. We have pink and white, different colors, but he told us that these are working very well back in Pennsylvania. That's a state, I believe that's a state where they were first planted, when they were planted under the name of Golden Rainbows. So anyway, classic Trigger Spoon Juniors. And oh wait, last but not least, if the juniors aren't working, I'm going to bust out my micro Trigger Spoons, probably in orange, but I love that little spoon regardless. And hopefully, if lightning trout like a compact package, I think they're going to respond to that. And you know me, what's my all-time favorite trolling lure? Some sort of fly. So we are going to be pulling some small size compact trolling flies like this orange metalhead, probably some of our junior trolling flies. And I've actually reached out to my vendor, and I have ordered some small flies custom tied just to pull for the lightning trout. So that's pretty much what I know at this point about lightning trout. Wes and I, we are very excited to get a lightning trout in our sights. We both want to catch a new species of trout, and I know a bunch of our clients do too. Our guiding calendar is up, it's active. If you would like to book a trip this fall to target lightning trout and standard rainbows at Collins Lake, go on over to fishhuntshoot.com. We have spots available. We're going to fill out this fall. We always do. We've only had the calendar up for a couple of days. We are going to be instruction heavy this year. We really want to teach you guys the basics and the finer points of catching trout no matter where you go, no matter what the conditions are. We want to give you the tools to succeed out there on your own, and we're going to teach you those tools while we're out on the water, chasing fish, catching trophy fish, hopefully taking some pictures with a big old lightning trout. Anyway, I'm Kel Kellogg. Next time you see me here on YouTube, I'm going to be talking about what I'm going to be pulling for fall trout up at Bucks Lake. I am in the formative stages of putting together a Bucks Lake trout fishing trip. I have high expectations, but I don't know how good the fishing's going to be. But I definitely have some offerings in mind. I have some strategies in mind. And you know me, I always say, you got to fish with a plan. You need plan A, you need plan B, you need plan C. You need to go through, work your plan, take the temperature of the fish, and then make adjustments accordingly. I'm Kel Kellogg. You have a great day, and I will catch you next time right here on YouTube. And if you want to fish with me this fall, get on over to fishhuntshoot.com and book your trip today. Thanks a lot, guys. Look forward to seeing you out there at Collins Lake.